Hello, everybody. How is everybody doing? I'm flying solo at the moment. I think Sarah might join me in a little bit, but of course, Tiffany's got her mom, and Lee had to, she had a physical therapy appointment, and she could only get it at like 7, so she had to do that. And, oh, there she is. Yay. I'm not flying solo anymore.
Technical difficulties. If you notice the picture looks better, I'm coming to you from my phone.
I got a little worried myself because like my camera wasn't working, and I'm like, no, don't do that to me because I don't have anybody to take my spot because Lee's
That's
not
right.
gonna do this.
Yeah, I'm gonna restart my computer and then I'll try and pop back, you know what I mean, through my computer afterward. But I thought when I saw your message that you're gonna be by yourself, I'm like, hurry. I didn't want you to think I ditched you.
Yeah. Well, I was like, well, I didn't know. Sometimes you pop on a little bit late because you get home from work and do your stuff. So
Yeah, we had to call the vet's office and press an appointment for tomorrow. So
is he doing okay now, or?
He's still not really eating. We think he's got a broken tooth because he wants to eat. Like he'll go to his food and he'll sniff it and then he'll back away from it. But it's kibble, right? Like it's hard kibble. But we feed him some wet food and he's eating the wet food, but not the dry food. So that's why. And
maybe it hurts.
the vet even said the same thing. She's like, it's probably a broken tooth. So we'll get it done tomorrow and then he'll be a happy cat again. So that'll make me feel better.
Yeah. That's good. Yeah, I know all about worrying about your little animals. So,
Our babies.
So are you going to be reading anything or crafting?
Oh, yeah. Yep. I'm going to be reading. I have 2 chapters in the epilogue left of Sleigh Ride with the Rancher by Stella Bagwell. So I really want to get this one done. Because I'm just so, I shouldn't say only. This will only be like the 4th book that I finished this month. And it's what, the 17th, 18th? It's been a slow reading month.
It's been a month for you, though. I mean, a lot of stuff is kind of going on. So,
yeah. Been going on, yeah. So that's okay.
I was trying really hard to get it done before I had to come on here, but I didn't. So I'm at 98% of 9 Liars by Maureen Johnson, which is the 5th book in like the Truly Devious series, which was not on my TBR, but it came in on Libby. And I was like, I keep pushing it back. And I'm like, I want to read it. So
right.
I was just like, I'm just going to go ahead. And then after I do that, I need to edit a video. And if I get the video done and everything, then I'm still working on I Heard a Fly Buzz When I Die by Amanda Flowers. I don't know what it is about these second books in series that are just getting me, but it's just not quite as interesting as like the first book in the series. And I think it's because in the first book, Willa, who is supposed to be like the one doing the sleuthing, it was her brother that died. And so she had a lot more invested. Because, I mean, she's the maid and in the Dickinson's household and everything. Yes. And the one in this one, like, it's just the secretary to somebody else that's at the Dickinson's house or whatever. And she doesn't really have anything to her. So, like, she's not really doing, like, a ton of sleuthing or wanting to or, and so it's just not quite.
I know. And you're not a fan. You don't tend to read second books. You read the first book and just continue on.
Well, it seems like it's because I'm having trouble because the same thing happened with the Dear Miss Hermione or whatever. Like I still haven't finished the Of Hoaxes and Homicides. I put it to the side because I just couldn't get into it. And I really like the first book, but the second book is kind of so it's like, yeah.
Oh, that's disappointing.
Yeah. Let's see. Come on, computer. Okay, so Barb says, good evening, friends. Reading before your memory fades and drinking coffee.
Interesting.
That sounds like something that could be happening.
Right? Yeah. I call them blonde moments.
What happens whenever I try to talk about my books, the memory fades.
Yeah, exactly.
And Amy says, hi, everyone. I've started A Treacherous Curse by Deanna Raybourn tonight. I'm really loving the Veronica Speedwell series so far. Yay. And see, Nadine says, "Hi everyone, I'll be reading Murder in Italian Village by Michael Falco. It's #1 in the Bria Bartolucci mysteries. Maybe, I don't know if I said that right.
Huh?
I'm
Close, I'm sure.
only on page 21, but so far I'm liking the writing style and I want to go to Italy." That's the bad thing about reading about other countries. Sometimes you're like, I want to go there.
That's right.
It's like reading my Scottish ones. I want to go.
Mm-hmm.
And Mother Goose says, "Happy holidays, everyone. I'll be reading Midnight at the Christmas Bookshop by Jenny Colgan, and as well as some holiday picture books."
Oh, that's
cool.
fun.
That sounds fun. And he says, "Hi, all. Reading A Highland Christmas by M.C. Beaton."
Nice.
I feel like there will be lots of Christmas reading.
Lots of Christmas.
Cajun says, "Hi, everyone. Reading Eggnog Murder, Lucy Stone's 23.5.
I can get behind murdering eggnog. It could just go.
Yeah, I don't like that either. And Karen says, "Hi, everyone. Tonight I'm reading The Just City by Joe Walton." And Cav says, "Hi, everyone. I'm reading American in Scotland tonight. Yay. Hope you like it, Cav. I feel like I've talked about it and talked about it and talked about it. Every time I'm like, people are going to get tired of me talking about that." It's like every time there's like a question for it, it's like, an American in Scotland.
Mm-hmm.
And Jessica Lynn says, "Hello, everyone. I finished 2 books last night, so I'll be continuing to set up my 2024 reading journal and then start some Christmas cozy novellas. Sounds like a plan."
Mm-hmm.
And Anita says, "Greetings, my friends. Tonight I'm reading Ellie Alexander's Muffin But the Truth." And Renee says, "Hi, y'all. I'm in the mood to read a bunch of Harlequin Christmas romances. Going to read A Maverick's Holiday Homecoming by Brenda Harlan. I believe Sarah approves."
I do. That's got to be a special edition novel. Sounds good.
And Mother Goose says, "I'm also doing some browsing and possible shopping on Pango Books. It's very addicting." It is. It's very addicting for me if I sell some stuff and I have some Pango money, and then it's like, oh, then all I have to do is really just pay the shipping. So I'm like, what do I want?
Add to carts.
And Esther says, "Hello from New York. Reading From a Far and Lovely Country, a book by Alexander McCall Smith, #1 ladies detective agency book." Yeah, I need to read that. I am so tempted at the thrift store that I go to. Like, there's a bunch of them in that series. They're like $3 a piece, and it's like, they're just calling my name.
Yeah, yeah. I hear so many people talk. It's an older series, isn't it?
I think so. Yeah. And yeah, everybody that's read it seems to like it. And
agreed.
But I'm like, I should probably read one and see if I like it before I go and like buy all the books.
Well, that's the thing. You're probably like me. You're thinking, you're like, okay, how many books are in the series? You know what I mean? Like, do I really want to start a new series that has a gazillion books in it? That's my thought process anyway.
Yeah, like I already have like a gazillion going anyway. So
yep.
More? And Emily says, "Hi, everyone. Made my 3rd trip to the ER since Thanksgiving. Oh, my goodness. I need some self-care tonight, working on Keeper of the Lost City Exile today. Nice. I hope you're doing okay."
I hope everything's okay.
And Purple Reinhardt says, "Hi, Storm and Sarah. Reading Christmas Letters by Debbie Maycomer. I didn't know that this was a 3.5, and I like to read in order, but going to read this."
And I'm proud of you.
Sarah will hold your hand while you're reading.
Yeah. It's fine. It'll all be fine. Just go with it. I am currently reading number 48 in a series. I haven't read any of the It'll be fine.
Those series like that one, I'm a little bit more lenient on than other series. Because I know
it's but the problem is, as I'm reading it, I'm realizing like we're meeting characters, and when you meet them, it's almost like you should already know who they are. And then when I went back and looked at like the previous 3 or 4 books, it's like, yeah, those are the characters. But the problem is that you don't know where they start, right? So I
Yeah.
just, whatever, read the
It's
ones
it's
that look good to you.
it's kind of like the Crew of Hunters. Everybody's like, you can just jump in anywhere you want. But yeah, but there's sections because like there's these 3 or 4 go with these people, and these 3 or 4 go with these people.
We should literally put our heads together, do a video together on a Crew of Hunters guide and say, like, these are, because they're, I think now more than anything, they're trilogies.
Yeah,
It's
I
the
think
Crew of
so.
Hunters, but you're getting trilogies. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm even trying to I talked my friend Barb into like going back and starting with Haunted, which is the Harrison investigation one.
Oh, I haven't read that one in years. I have it on my Kindle.
I was like, can we go back to like the very, very beginning?
If you want to, if you want to, I'm down for that. I can get behind that.
Because I have like the very first one that was one of the books whenever I was like, I would like to read this or whatever, and one of my own books. And so, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I think actually we were going to do it in January. So I don't know what you have planned, but
Yep. I no plans yet.
all right.
I have no plans for the entire year.
There you go. I have a few plans for January because I am helping with a readathon challenge thing, but other than that.
Yeah, I'm just
Oh,
trying to
and
keep it easy.
yeah, I sent you a message and it's above the link for
Oh, okay.
tonight. So
Okay,
you
I'll go and
get
check.
it. It's
I
about
couldn't get on
February.
Discord either, so I had to like send the link to my. This was a whole thing tonight. Okay.
I've done that before too. Whenever I've had troubles with my computer, I've had to like send the link to here to there. Like when I
Yep.
can't get on Discord, because like my computer sometimes, if I click off of Discord, it won't let me bring it back unless I
Same.
restart my computer.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, so it's not just mine.
No, it's Discord. I blame Discord.
Yes, and so I've had to do that. So and Cajun says, "Oh, poor Presley, baby food can work too."
Yeah.
And Tina says, "Hello, y'all. Today's officially a week till Christmas." Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh, humbug.
Do you know what? I said that to Garrett this morning in the car. A lot of people are in that same. They just don't feel like it's. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're not in the Christmas spirit.
Yeah, and I'm a little bah humbugged too and stuff because one of my little coffee people passed away. So
Oh, I'm sorry.
yeah, what she's had like dementia. They're the ones in the like assistant living and stuff. And it's kind
But
of a
still,
blessing, but at the same time, it was kind of a bummer. Because
even
I
if you're
really wasn't
expecting it, it's
expecting it. I
still.
mean, it just kind of come out of the, it's like
And especially around the holidays. I think it's just
mhm.
extra tough around the holidays.
Yeah, and see, even though it's been like 20 plus years, my mom died in December, and so
Oh,
I'm just never really. That's one of my bah humbugs about December. So, and then so having somebody else in December too, it's like I'm just feeling a little melancholy this go around. So
and we lost Dad 2 weeks after Christmas. So in early
yes, all in
January. So,
that, yes.
yeah.
And Emily says, "Hi, I can't spell." I knew what you were saying though. And PK says, "Hi, listening while driving."
Hi, PK.
Really? Hey, haven't seen you
Hello.
forever. Hi, everyone. Not sure what I'll be reading yet. I'll be cross stitching during the chatting.
For some reason, I thought chatting said driving. I'm like, I don't recommend cross stitching while driving. Trying to read this on my phone is not working.
Do you just have a day off, or are you on Christmas like vacation or something? Because I haven't seen her
Mhm.
on here in a while, and I know some people, depending on what kind of job you have, some are getting off like right now. So
Yes.
it was earlier. We were having coffee, and one of the guys said, "Is there no school today?" And I said, "Probably not." And he goes,
Mhm.
"Oh yeah, Christmas break." He goes, "I can't believe it's like a week till Christmas." He's like, I was like, "Probably not. They're probably on vacation already."
The girls and I were saying that at work. I can't believe I've got to come in this week. I'm like, are you kidding me? This is like my favorite week to come in because there's no one on the roads. Everyone's off. So it's like I have a clear, straight drive in. I could take my sweet time. It's
And are you
great.
guys like really busy during this time?
I am because the girl I work with is busy. She's pushed a lot of signups and stuff to like this week and next week. But in general, like new calls coming in, no. this is not a busy time for new calls.
That's what I was
People
wondering.
wait until they get their visa bill after Christmas and then they give
Yeah,
us a call.
that's what I was thinking. I figured January would probably be like
Yeah.
really busy.
Yep.
And Mother Goose says, "Hi, Esther Jane. Is there flooding in your part of New York? We had a lot of warnings and rivers very high."
Oh my.
And you said to Emily Reeds to feel better soon.
Mm.
And I'll read a couple more and then I'll go into a reading.
And I just saw your message, Storm. Let me think on it and I will get back to you.
All right. Yeah, because I'm like, I don't know how we do this. I need
I'm
ideas.
thinking, I mean, talking it out just right now, I'm kind of thinking like I like the team idea, and then maybe like a couple prompts for each team.
Yeah, see, that's
And
what I
then
was
having
wondering
like
too.
a prompt for both, like that could
Yeah.
encompass, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that could work.
I'll think on it.
Yeah. And then also it's like, should we add anything for like somebody who might not want to read like in a series or something? Like if it's just a
True enough.
So I don't know. Because I'm sure I'm not gonna just read books that are in a series. I'm gonna read other things.
We could do like 2 prompts for you, 2 prompts for me, like for the teams, and then have 2 prompts that are like non-series books.
Yeah.
So it'd be 6 in total for the whole month, which I think is pretty reasonable.
Yeah.
You know, you don't have to do all of them, and I'm sure you can probably, you know what I mean? Like we always say, whatever, right? So
and then you don't even have to do them if you don't want to. Just read whatever.
absolutely 100% correct, because that's probably what Storm's going to do. And that's what it should be. We should change it to follow the prompts with me. Don't follow the prompts with Storm.
Yeah. Okay. So, Lady Voss says, "Hi everyone. I'm going to listen to Valleys, Vehicles, and Victims by Tonya Kappas, needing something light to listen to." And then Emily says, "Thanks. I have a superficial vein in my leg that is clotted and redness keeps spreading. No infection, so that is good."
Oh, that's good, thankfully.
Yeah. Hi, Sharon. Come here. Come on. Hi, everyone. Tuning in while driving home and listening to Echoes of Old Bones.
Very good.
Interesting. And with that one, we shall go into a reading sprint. So let's see. We'll read to the
I'm going to pop out here because I've got it up on my screen, and I'm going to pop back in on my computer, okay?
Okay.
So hold on.
So happy reading, everyone. into editing my video. It's like, I guess I should look at what time it is. And it's like, oh, okay. But how'd everybody do?
I finished my book. It was cute. I gave it 3.5 stars. Fun little Christmas cowboy romance, you know. How about you, other than your editing?
Well, I finished my book because I only had like a couple % left in it.
Excellent.
And it wasn't too bad. And I'm about, I think maybe halfway or a little over halfway editing my video. So
excellent.
I'm running out of things to video about with this 25 days. I'm like, what else can I do? Hi, Lou says, hey, y'all. I just finished Murder for Christmas, and I'm probably going to start Adventures of the Christmas Pudding and Other Stories. Well, that sounds interesting. And Anita loves eggnog. Yum. You. And Amy says, I read the first 2 books of Veronica Speedwell back to back so far, and now I'm starting the 3rd book. So almost 3 books in the series back to back. So I am loving this series.
Not bad.
I'm really glad you're loving it, and I can't wait till you get to like the last 2 because I'm really curious to see how you like them. It fell off the high pedestal for me because I'm still curious to see what's going to go on with like the latest one that comes out next year, but it wasn't, it's like it didn't make my runner-up list or my favorites list this year. So, I mean, it kind of fell off its pedestal.
No, that makes sense.
So it's kind of so it's like, author, you better do me good, and I want it to go back to where it's like, my favorite series. And Cajun says me too. Okay, and my favorite is vanilla spice eggnog. Oh, spicing it up. Oh no, I hate eggnog.
You can keep it.
Cider. Do you like cider?
I love cider. Love apple cider.
Yeah, because Jessica Lynn said she'd rather have cider.
Yeah, I talked about that in my vlog yesterday because I went to Starbucks because they used to sell an apple cider and they stopped, but now they only do steamed apple juice. But I found out online the hack is that you ask them to add some chai syrup to it, and then it gives it that apple cider spice. It's really good.
Oh. Barbara finished before the coffee gets cold. Yay! And Kay says, hi, hope everyone is well. I think I may just be vibing today while I work on a puzzle, sharing some Yuletide cheer with a like button.
Writing these all down.
It's like I need to borrow these when I go to somebody else's like
right
sprint or whatever, so I can have some witty like responses. And Barbara says the book I'm reading is part of a series before the coffee gets cold. And it's how's it going? Esther says there are 24 now in the series of Lady Detectives.
Oh, okay.
I love it because it is simple, and I've also learned a lot about Botswana and Africa, where is the setting, and it always makes me smile.
Oh, fantastic.
Cool. And the Mother Goose says, recently finished Positively Penelope by Pepper Basham. Both male and female narrators. A male had the most wonderful Scottish brogue. Yeah. It's always great when the narrators have really good accents.
Right.
Go with your book. And I have recently heard a lot about Pepper Basham lately. Everybody seems to like her.
I have not. I will have to look into that.
I think, if I'm right, I think she's like a Christian fiction.
Oh, all right then. Very good. Very good. The book I'm reading right now, the other book is It Happened One Christmas, and it's set in Quebec. And I'm so tempted to try and find the audiobook because a lot of it is spoken is in French. I don't speak French, but I'd like to hear the accent.
The accent, yeah.
Right?
Esther Jane said, the Mother Goose, we haven't had any flooding, but lots of rain and still raining. My area is not very hilly, but snow coming tonight. Y'all keep that up there with you.
Right?
Carrot
Keep it
says,
down. Yeah.
Hi, Stormy and Sarah. I have 2 chapters left to read in 'Twas the Night, the art and history of the classic Christmas poem written and compiled by Pamela McCoy. Well, that's cool. Is it interesting?
Right?
And Kay says, Tina, I'm not ready for it yet. I did get my Christmas cards out, but I'm not done with family presents yet. Oh, yeah, because there's only a week left. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Ice tonight. Ooh, be careful.
Oh, yikes.
I would rather have snow than ice. I don't like snow, but I'd rather have snow than ice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Thank you. And Anita says, same with me. I need more time to get presents from my loved ones. I'm always a procrastinator. I'm always the one that waited till Christmas Eve and then went shopping and braved everybody trying to figure out what I need to do.
I love it.
And Emily said, so sorry, and Thorny and Sarah, and said, my mom passed away Christmas Day in 2009. That was our wake-up call. So I hear you on getting holiday blahs. This year it hit hard for me. Yeah.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
For a funny thing, when you said about shopping on Christmas Eve, I probably have told this at some point, but maybe so. I ended up in the hospital on Christmas Eve early in the morning, right? Like with palpitations. So they were able to correct it while I was there. My mom was there. She's like, can I go home and take the turkey out of the freezer? Because like, yeah. So my mom comes back to pick me up. I was in my early 20s. And so we had gone to the hospital. Like had been in bed. My hair was a mess. I was in my pajamas. I now had from the IV, I had bandages, and I still had the thing from the hospital. So I said to my mom as we're driving back, I said, I need to stop at Golf Town to get Dad a gift certificate. She's like, okay, no problem. So she pulls it outside and I run in, and I must have looked like an escape victim from an insane asylum in my Halloween pajamas and my bandaged up hands and my I just want a gift card.
And they're probably like, okay.
Yes, let's let the crazy lady go.
Let's hurry up and get her out of here real
right.
One of my friends, he's an ex-alcoholic and everything, and so he used to tell stories about whenever he was younger and he was at a poker game or whatever with his friends, and they're all partying and doing all this stuff, and he's like, oh, I've got to go because it's like Christmas, and everything, and they're like, oh no, there'll be stores open on I think Christmas Eve or Christmas or whatever it is. Yeah. And he's like, not a thing was open. And he had no gifts.
Yeah,
everybody got lottery tickets.
Yeah.
He's like, I didn't win very well with family members that year.
Wasn't that I mean, I don't think you didn't watch Friends, but I'm pretty sure that was a Friends episode as well. Like they got stranded somewhere at a gas station. They bought each other gifts from the gas station. Like it was cute.
He does much better now that he's sober and doesn't drink anymore.
That's always good to hear. Always good to hear.
And Kay says, my son has one more day until he goes on break. Okay. Breezy says, I get this whole week off. A great perk of my new job. I actually have time this week to watch Sprint. Yay.
Wonderful. Wonderful.
And I'm sure you need some time off because you're always busy. So. And Amy says, Kay Hooper, her Bishop Special Units series does a trilogy thing as well. So it's not just Heather Graham that does trilogies, maybe with suspense in certain characters, I guess.
Perhaps.
I've been meaning to try that series. I have a couple books in that series, but yeah, it's I've got to get number 1. And PK says, all buddy read crew, not read any. Hey, there we go. January, we're going to start with Harrison Investigation, which is not technically crew, but it's kind of pre-crew.
It's the prequel crew. Yeah, because you're meeting out he's I would definitely say it's a prequel to the Crew of Hunters.
Yeah. And Jesse says, "Hello, everyone. I found a box of books I don't remember buying, so I'll be reading one of those. The Midnight Tree by Dorothy Cure. Set in London. I am culling books again." Well, that sounds like a very Merry Christmas to me, finding a box of books that I didn't know I had.
Right? Hello.
And Pat says, "Good evening, everyone. A friend of mine is here and helping me wrap Christmas presents. Happy reading and take care. Thank you. And don't forget to thumbs up. Thank you, Pat.
Yes, thank you.
And hi, friend." And Jen says, "Hi, Stormy, Sarah, everyone. I started Kingdom of Sweets tonight. You know
Nice.
what? I hope you like that. I really hope you like that. I DNF'd it. I told Barb I can't go any farther."
Hashtag sorry, not sorry.
Yeah, I'm like, I've cut in my losses. And she goes, "Good. I don't feel pressured to read it so much now." 'Cause she doesn't really care for it much either. So, but I think she's a little bit more of a finisher than I am. I keep trying to teach her how to DNF, but she's a little bit more of a finisher
Okay.
and things. But now because we were buddy reading it, and so she doesn't feel the pressure to have to like read it. So,
That's always good, right?
yeah, it's more fantasy, and I like middle grade fantasy. I can handle that if it's not too out there, like epic or anything like that.
Yes.
But I just don't do well with fantasy, I guess. And that one was just, I was snoozing. I was like, okay, I don't care. I think I got about 30% into it. Thank you. And Kat says, "Sorry to hear about your friend's passing. My childhood best friend."
Yes.
Yes, it has been tough sending you hugs. Yes, I was sorry to hear about that whenever I seen that on your. Yeah. And that's a hard one because you've known her like all your life. That one's pretty tough. And Kay says, "Our power went out. Thanks for the sprints. Merry Christmas." Oh no. Well, I hope your power comes back on.
Seriously, yeah.
And very good. Well, made it to 21%.
Well done.
I read one chapter and made some chai tea this spring.
Yum.
38%, 27%, enjoying it a lot. Yay. And then else says, "Listening to Snowden at the Event Center by Kathleen Meadows, and we'll be starting Dashing Through the Snow by D."
But we don't even need to say
The
what
big D. Yeah, I snuck in one that I didn't have on my list to read by Debbie May Comer, and that was from 1990. It's one of her Harlequin romances.
I was gonna say, yeah.
And it was a lot better than book number one. So we went from 1983 to 1990. We've gotten a little bit better.
No, that's good. That's good.
So I was just like, I liked that one a lot better.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It gets 4 stars instead of 2.
Excellent. Always positive.
Yes. And Cav says, "Whoa, I just got to the part where Emily and the Lord meet on American Sky. Grumpy sunshine and then some. I'm enjoying this." Yeah, I like the banter between the two of them was a lot of fun. And it was missing in the second book that comes out in January. There wasn't quite as much banter and stuff. I still really enjoyed it because it had a good mystery and I like the characters and stuff. But you had all that fun banter in the first one. You just didn't have quite the fun banter in the second one. So
no.
But I think he's about done with her because she's always getting into trouble and he's. But I will say, like, it says it's a cozy mystery, but I don't necessarily think that it's cozy. It has cozy elements, kind of like the one you were reading. It has cozy elements.
Yes.
But in the second book, like the main character, she gets like injured really bad, and she's like, hardly can get around, and all this kind of things. And I'm like, it's not very cozy. It's cozy in the sense that it's a small Scottish town, and there's a really great friend environment and all that stuff, but it's not quite cozy.
The one that I read, I felt that it was like equal parts romance and cozy, so it would be more like a cozy romantic suspense, I guess, if I was going to try and label it. But I liked it. So that's all that matters.
That's all that matters, yeah.
Yep.
And there's a lot of cozy going around, and I think cozy's been being thrown out and everything. and stuff. You know, cozy fantasy, and
This
you've
and
got
that.
cozy
And
romances, and you've got cozy.
cozy is what you make of it. Thrillers could be cozy if that's your jam. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's like
So
it's a small town thriller, so it's cozy.
yeah, it's got to be with an amateur sleuth and a talking cat. Oh no, wait, sorry.
Hey, Beth says I'm actually working on my homework for my winter mini course. We started today and I'm procrastinating. Uh-oh, better not be procrastinating. And you
My
better be
middle name is
sitting down and
procrastinating.
relaxing and all that stuff after your surgery.
Seriously, that's not procrastinating. That's healing.
And Purple Reinhardt said 50 pages. The book reads fast for me. Cool.
Nice.
Yeah, sorry to hear about your friend. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
She was 76. She's a year older than my dad.
Oh, that's still young.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't know she was so much younger than her husband because Bill's like 81. And so I was like, oh, you know. And Kat says, I didn't read during the sprint. Had to take care of some other stuff. Hopefully I can read during the next sprint. All right.
That's hard when your spouse is like a big age gap because you've always got to think about that. Like that's going to become a thing, you know, as you get older.
They were married for 54 years.
Wow.
So
I worked with a woman way, way, way years ago at another company. Her husband's probably passed away by now. They were 20 years apart in age. She was 20 years younger than him. So, you know, she was in her 60s. So he was like 80, right? And I'm thinking, what, you know, like
a lady, one of the managers at McDonald's whenever I was younger that worked there, that was her. Like she was, I think she was in her 50s and her husband was in his 70s. Whatever. It's like,
hey, it is what I'm not judging anybody. I'm just saying that that's something you got to think about as you get older, right?
It's like one of those things when you get together, you don't really think that much about it.
No, you don't. You don't.
And Amy says, Storm, they got worried about the ladder books and the Veronica's people. Well, you know, I think it's more of, well, actually, it's more of me and my friend thing because she didn't like how it was going either. But like a lot of people, when I read the reviews, they're all like, yeah, I love it. I love it. I love it. So I think it's, you know, you might like it. So that's why I'm curious. I just want to know if you'll be like me or if you'll like it. And Meg said, evening all, I'm reading The Christmas Letters by Jenna Proctor and Court of Sugar and Spice by Rebecca F. Kennedy. It's certainly spicy. It's got the spice in the sugar and spice.
There you go.
And it says, Storm, are you planning to read more of the Bosch series by Michael Connelly next year? Yes, I do plan to at least try to get to book 2 because I need to. I got to look at all my lovely book 1s from this year, and I've got to add book 2 or try to add book 2 to next year. I got to move on. I'm trying to be better about the book 1 thing. trying. And Robin High says, I'm going to read a Good Girl, Bad Blood.
Ooh, Good Girl, Bad Blood. Yes. Oh, I think it's just Good Girl Bad by Alice Finley. No,
I think
I've got that. That's actually going to be my first book of January. I have it on my shelf.
I've read one Alice Finley and I didn't like it. So
it was Daisy Darker, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I know you weren't a fan.
And so now I'm like, I don't know. Actually, that is my video for tonight that I'm going to upload whenever I get it done is thrillers. Do I like them or do I not?
Well, you know what? That's a legit because, you know, when I first started reading, I'm like, these are amazing. But then the more and more you read of them, it's like the same stuff happens over and over again, right?
And see, that's what I was like. I hadn't really read a lot of them. So that's what I wanted to do this year. That was like a goal from, you know, that I made. I wanted to read more thrillers. Mm-hmm. We did. I read a lot of them with my friend Barb and we didn't have a very good time. And Barb says, does anyone know of Japanese authors? The one I'm reading is good, but no manga, please. I will be starting a series book from around the world.
I love that idea, Barb. Mm-hmm. And I went ahead and started looking when I saw your comment pop up. I Google searched Japanese mystery authors. Just, I just picked a random genre, and there was a Goodreads list, because there's always a Goodreads list. But maybe have a look there and see if anything strikes your fancy.
Yeah. I need to read more from different countries. I think when I read, it's like the UK, Scotland,
The
Ireland,
US,
maybe,
Canada.
and
Yeah,
US and Canada, and that's it.
pretty much.
And it's just because that's where most of the mysteries are, I think.
You know what? It's true.
So let's see. We shall read one more and then we'll go into reason. So Beth says, "Oh, we don't get out of school until Thursday. My school has a half a day, and the girl and mom have to go a full day."
Nice.
Well, that's a bummer. You don't get very much, but you still get off, like, I think, till after the New Year. So
Oh, yeah. I think it's like a
little bit of
2-week, something like that.
Yeah, so not too bad. Okay, be back at top of the hour, and I will try to be back at top of the hour.
No worries.
Happy reading, everyone.
Happy reading, everybody.
So how did everybody do? How'd you do?
I filmed my little vlog for today, so I'm going to edit that as soon as we're done here. And then I wanted to start something new, even though I've already got a book on the go. But I need something other than all the Christmas. So I went as far from left field as I possibly could go. And I decided to pick up a Sweet Valley High book that was on Kindle Unlimited because why not?
Why not? Yeah, there you go. Sounds good.
How'd you do?
I got my video edited and it's like exporting right now on my
Yay.
phone, and I'm at 56% into I heard a fly buzz when I died.
Nice. Well done.
I don't get Emily Dickinson's poetry because I like looked up the poem that goes with that and I don't understand it.
I don't understand poetry, period, and I'm not ashamed to say that. Poetry's not my jam.
It doesn't make any sense, and I'm like, I don't get it. all I can tell is she's like a little bit morbid, maybe, because it seems like all
that's
of
what
this
it
stuff has
seems like
to do
to
with
me.
death.
Yeah, she's obsessed with death, pretty much.
Goes over my head.
You and me both.
And Amy says, I've read most of the K. Hooper Bishop Special Unit series. I need to read the newer book out. They're really good. Well, that's good to know. And Meg said, sorry about your friend, and sorry about your friend, Kat, and sorry about your mom, Emily Reedens. Thank you. And it says, I haven't started Kingdom of Sweets yet. A Quart of Sugar and Spice is a Nutcracker retelling, and so weird to read a smutty version. And Jen says, I'm nervous about Kingdom of Sweets. I love the Nutcracker, and I hope it doesn't ruin it for me. Well, I hope not. And I don't know if some of that might have been my problem too. I've never read the Nutcracker, so I don't really know exactly. I know that it involves like a Nutcracker and a Sugar Plum Fairy. And is there a Mouse King or a Rat King?
Isn't
or
it Swan Lake?
No, I think that's a totally different. I think. But I
Sure,
know
in
there's
the comments, let us know. For some reason, I think like Sugar Plum Fairies, Swan Lake, but I could be way off. I could be mashing two things together.
Right.
Swan Lake.
Is there a mouse? Is there a Mouse King or a Rat King or something?
I don't know.
But yeah, I don't.
Yeah, okay. Dance of the Sugar Plum Fairy from the Nutcracker. So the Nutcracker and Swan Lake are two totally different things.
Yeah. I thought maybe they were on.
Maybe not. I don't know.
I don't know. Like I don't. When it comes to ballet, I don't know much, and that's all I ever associate the Nutcracker with is ballet.
I took ballet. I did ballet for like a decade, and this is why it's kind of in my head, right?
But, and I just know that what is it? Dun, 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 and you got the little
yeah.
You got the little ballet dancers doing their little thing. That's all. So I don't know if I needed to know a little bit more about the story to get Kingdom of Sweets, but I don't know.
Yeah.
And Amy says, I need to read more of the Harrison investigation by Heather Graham. I read the first book this year. I also read a couple of the others years ago. And Nadine says, are there scavenger hunt picks for January? That's a good thing. See, I should do that because I forget that we've already done the scavenger hunts for this month. And yeah. So no, they haven't been picked yet, but okay. I will get to it. And Beth says, I'm sitting to work on my etymology, the class, and partake in the sprint. You guys are helping me heal. All right, see there. And Amy says, still feel like the Inspector Gamache series by Louise Penny is kind of cozy mystery as a small town of Three Pines setting, but not all of them are based on small town of Three Pines. Yeah, and see, and I don't think that it's cozy. I think it would be cozy adjacent, but there's a lot of things in there that's not like super cozy.
To me, that seems much more police. Well, he's an inspector. Right off the, I mean, it might feel cozy because it's a small town, but it's not a cozy because he's not an amateur sleuth, and that's like the big hallmark, is it not?
Yeah, but even that though, there are some cozy mysteries. Like one of my favorite cozy mysteries is the main sleuth is Sheriff Kenny Lowry in the Kenny Lowry series, and so I don't know, but I do think that most of the time I would associate cozies with the amateur sleuth.
Mm-hmm. And I looked. The Nutcracker and Swan Lake are two completely different ballets. They were written by the same guy, though.
Oh,
so
there
that's
you go. Yeah.
why I think I had them crossed in my mind. But yeah. So there was our learning for today's storm. We are now cultured and
Yes, we
knowledge.
Cajun says my daddy was 14 years older than my stepmom, and they were together 41 years. Wow.
That's delightful.
And Pamela says my husband is 11 years older than I am, and yes, it is something you think about often.
Mm-hmm.
And Kat says, Meg, thanks, Meg. I appreciate it. Barb, I did not read this last sprint. My friend called. She found a gray hair. I had to talk her down.
I'd only freak out if it was in my soup. Like, where did she find this gray hair? That's the question.
So is it her first gray hair or one of many that she just realized that she had?
Right?
And Amy says, I need to read a book 2 in the Bosch series. Will Buddy read it with you if you want? Sure. I need all the motivation I can get.
To read all the books, yes.
To read the books, to make myself go forth in the series.
Yeah. Continue on.
It was like Sherry's gonna Buddy read the Moonstone in January and February. Like I said, we'll split it because it's a big one. It's kind of big, and she's put it on hold, but she's got a 4-week wait. And I said, we don't have to do it all in one. I just want to get started in January. So we're like, okay, so that would give her time maybe to get it mid-January if her hold, depending on her hold comes.
I wanted to read The Moonstone because I did really like A Woman in White.
See, I've never read Wilkie Collins before.
You would like A Woman in White.
And I keep saying, every time like spooky time comes around, I'm going to read this.
If you like Jane, like you're a Jane Austen fan, right? Or not Jane Austen, Jane Eyre.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then you need to read A Woman in White.
Have to put that on my list too. But yeah, I actually have a copy of the Moonstone, so see that helps me read my own books too.
Ooh, so. Maybe I'll ask for a copy from. Maybe Santa will bring me a copy.
There you go.
I wouldn't mind reading because I want to get the matching edition to the one that I have for A Woman in White because I have that one in physical edition too.
Cool. Hugs. And this says Haruki
Murakami. I think is how you say the last.
Japanese author that I've read and enjoyed. That name sounds familiar. Do they write mysteries or something? I don't know what it sounds like.
Big name on BookTube. I think it's more literary fiction.
Maybe it's literary fiction.
I've heard a lot of BookTubers mention that.
I just know I've heard that name, yeah. Mm-hmm. And Jessie says, I knew a lady who was 102 who outlived her son, 89 years old, and was living in it with her, taking care of her. And when her son passed away, she had to go into a nursing home. Wow.
Well, I mean, my grandmother was 94, and she passed away a year and a bit before her son. So it was like only a year and a bit between my dad and his mom.
Wow.
Yeah.
True. If I'm up and going and stuff, living that old would be kind of cool, but if I'm not, I don't want to live that.
And that was my grandmother. She was gardening, she was cooking, she was all the things, you know? And living at home, not even in a nursing home.
Yeah, interesting how some people are just so spry up until the last minute.
And she had breast cancer twice.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And Karen says, I like that author there as well. I also like...
I wouldn't even try pronouncing them, Storm.
Banana Yoshimoto and... yeah, all those authors right there, particularly the housekeeper and the professor.
Just because we don't want to butcher the names.
Yeah. Yeah, okay, everybody who's watched a video of mine knows I don't pronounce names very well.
Mispronouncing things is my thing.
I've had them say, you keep reading these books with these names, because I'm like, I know. Even in my thrillers, it was like, yeah, I'm not even attempting that last name. It's right there.
Well, I heard something interesting the other day. They said if you pronounce something wrong, it means you read it in a book. Like it wasn't said to you, you read it in a
Yeah.
book. So I thought that was very interesting.
Yeah, because there's sometimes when I've read a book and then you listen to it like again, and it's like, oh, I was totally not saying that right.
Hermione from Harry Potter.
Yeah, Hermione.
When I went to the movies, I'm like, I'm sorry, what? It's pronounced how?
Yeah, and well, if I didn't know the spelling of Siobhan from, I think it's the Irish Village series.
Yes.
I would never know that was even that. But I actually knew that because of watching TV, and there was somebody in one of the like UK kind of like shows, and that's the name or whatever. I was watching one of those, and I was like, oh,
that's interesting.
Yeah, because totally weird like spelling. So yeah. PK says watching live Iceland volcano footage. Cool, scary, and amazing.
Iceland is on my bucket list. I'd like to go there.
But not while there is a volcano.
I don't want to be sacrificed.
Want to be Joe the volcano,
Yeah.
Robin said, thanks for this. Burns my stomach and sinuses are not letting me read right now. Oh, that's a bummer, Robin.
Hope you feel better soon, Robin.
My allergies have been like super annoying this winter like time. It's like every time I wake up, I'm like, oh, I can't breathe.
Oh, I had to get my humidifier because
Yeah, I should get one of those for my room. Because I think in a lot of it too is dry air, because we have our wood heat downstairs, and it floats up this way.
Me and the cats were all like, you get up in the morning and you're just like, so I'm like, time for humidifier.
And PK says, otherwise, got keel walked and fed and had some Mediterranean lentil soup. Now going to try out a couple different crochet hooks that showed up today. I'm willing to invest in good tools.
I can second that, PK. Fantastic.
If it is something that you're doing a lot of, yes, it's probably best to invest
100. If you're just trying it on a whim, not recommended.
Yeah. Well, it's like I watched Nicole and Neva, I think that's her name. Like they do the diamond paintings and stuff a lot, and they talk about how much some of the drills are or whatever and things. And I'm like, gosh, those things they can get super expensive, and it's like, but I mean, if that's your thing and you want to buy a fancy little drill pin or whatever, go for it. But
I was sitting at work the other day and I was knitting on my socks, and one of the girls comes in and she picks up the ball ears. Oh, this is gorgeous. Did you buy this at Michael's? No. You don't want to know how much this pair of socks is costing. Put the yarn down.
Yes, it's like, carefully put my pretty yarn down
and step away.
It cost me lots of money.
That's right. But again, it's my hobby. I enjoy it. I had the money.
Yeah.
There we go.
And Cajun says, I just sent my best friend a keychain that has the disc that says, I hope we're friends until we die. Then I hope we stay ghost friends and walk through walls and scare the out of people. No, I like that. I need that for my friend. That's funny. And Caden says, Tiffany mentioned something about that saying the other day, and I saw the keychain looking for others, and I love it. Yeah, that's
nice.
Oh, Val made it 39, and Anita got to 47. And Barb says, how wonderful it is to knit a pair of socks while listening to an audiobook, don't we? Yeah. Excellent. I need to try to get back into like crocheting or even knitting. I have both of the utensils. I got the tools for both of them. I was really into it there for a hot minute, and then
I know. Then it kind of like, nah.
Yeah, I even had about like this much of like a blanket. I mean, I was going to town. I had like that much, and then I don't know what happened.
This is boring now. I need something else.
Just got set to the side, and yeah. Amy says, I read 15 pages and had kitten in my face for some tension. Oh, Emily napped. Well, you
That's
probably needed
perfectly
to nap.
acceptable.
Yes. And Sarah Beth says, I love that haircut on Sarah.
Thank you.
I do too. I think it's cute. I showed Dad your picture. I said, look, doesn't she look cute with her haircut short? He said, yeah, I like it. Because I said, here's her with long hair and here's with short hair. And
It's
he
not
said,
as stringy. That's what I love. It
hair.
doesn't look
He
as
liked
stringy.
Yeah, he liked the short hair better.
I'm glad I got his approval.
Which is good because he really prefers long hair on women.
Anytime I ever cut my hair, my grandmother, she would just get so annoyed.
Yeah.
Like, because that was very old fashioned, right?
Yes,
like women had
yeah.
long hair. So.
Yep. And so Meg said, I listened to about 41 pages of Court of Sugar and Spice and continues to amp up on the spice. The Nutcracker is when men jump off the high dive.
She's not wrong.
Nutcracker was originally a German Christmas story that was converted into a play.
Yeah.
Yes. And the PK says, about a girl who befriends a nutcracker that comes to life on Christmas Eve and wages the battle against the evil Mouse King. See, okay, I knew it was a mouse. I was like, is it a mouse or a rat or something?
The rat is from Ratatouille.
I get bits and pieces of this because I do think at one point in time I watched, I think it was Disney. Doesn't Mickey Mouse do a nutcracker?
I think so.
And that's the only part that's in my head.
See, I've never seen it, and I think it's because I'm actually like not afraid of, but I find nutcrackers to be very creepy looking.
Creepy. Yes, they are. And I have a friend who collects them, and she's got about 55 of them. And all different like sizes, from like really big ones to little bitty tiny ones.
Mm-hmm.
All different colors and people.
Wow.
Like she's got Halloween ones, and she's
That's cool if that's your thing. Not for me.
Yeah, she's really into them, and because I see something, one of them unique, I always take a picture and be like, make me think of you. You and your creepy nutcrackers.
Mm-hmm.
And Beth says Emily Dickinson was very ill and anticipated her death, but actually had a full life. Check out her letters sometimes. They're nifty. A teen writing to friends while she often essentially isolated.
Really interesting.
Well, because I know that she like becomes reclusive in her like older years, and so like this is her when she's younger, because I think she's only like, I don't know, maybe 20 or something, or somewhere close to that. I'm guessing. I don't really remember. And so she's a little bit more outgoing, I guess, than when she was like later on.
Mm-hmm.
And Swan Lake and Nutcracker are totally different, but both scores and ballet is written by the same man.
Yeah.
I was like, wow, what book are you reading? But he says down here, it says 95%. And Meg says E.T.A. Hoffman's classical children's tale Nutcracker and the Mouse King, which was penned by a German in 1816. We're learning all kinds of good stuff here.
Hot minute ago.
Beth said, I got today's homework done and read a chapter of Court of Silver Flames.
Well done.
Awesome. And Meg said, yeah, bought it for a stage, so to speak. Yeah, we're not even trying that one.
Tchaikovsky, I think.
Yeah. And Cajun says, well, I won't say where I found my first gray hair, but let's just say I was surprised for some reason that went great.
Your eyebrow, right, Cajun?
Yeah.
We'll just say eyebrow.
Oh, Cajun.
Between you and Barb.
Yeah. Amy said, Storm, what month do you want to buddy read the second Bosch book? How about March for March Mystery Madness?
Ooh, that works well.
Yeah. So I'm like, that'll be a good time to put it in there because I'll be reading all the mysteries and stuff. So Cat says a vacuum to put the trash can on the curb. Changed ice cream bar's water snake. I'm not sure.
Your snake's name is Ice Cream Bar? That's awesome.
What I was like. And read chapter 13. It was the night. One more chapter and I'm done. It is an enjoyable nonfiction about Christmas. Cool.
Nice. The snake, not so much, but that sounds fun.
Yeah.
Not voluntarily having a snake in my head.
Sure
Sorry.
Ice cream bar's water. But
Ice Cream Bar can go and live outside. Far away outside.
I don't know, but all I'm thinking is I want an ice cream bar, like the actual ice cream bar, which I'm
Right?
thinking that's what
exactly.
she has, but I don't know what it sounds like. And Val says, going to call it a night. Thank you for the sprints. Good night, Val. And Annie says, I took care of a senior who outlived her children and siblings and just had one nephew left, but she was homebound. Yeah.
That's too bad.
I am terrible at pronunciations. Yes. At least, it happens to a lot of us, I think. And, the bad thing is I will go onto howtopronounce.com or whatever it is, and I will type it in there. I will listen to it like 3 or 4 times, and then I get ready to make my video, and I'm like, I can do this. And it's like, well, I don't remember. And so I just gave up. I was like, it's on the screen. You can see the book.
That's right.
Or I can type it out for you to see or something. But yeah.
Exactly.
And the Meg says, there's been many times I've mispronounced something in my head, which is probably why I prefer to listen to audiobooks, especially new to me fantasy.
Oh, yeah. Fantasy for sure. 100%.
Yeah. Like fantasies and like classics and things like that. I think they do really well on audio because like, especially if you're like reading like, like some Russian classic or something.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
And this is, I also recommend the book Clara and the Sun. The author is Japanese British.
Excellent.
And the mother just saying, thanks, lady, heading to bed. Been feeling run down and have a compromised immune system. So stay healthy. Trying to stay healthy. Well, good night.
I hear you, my dear.
Well, and Anita said good night to Mother Goose. And the PK says, I'm working on my 3rd Afghan. It will be for Steve. It's a mixed yarn. The colors remind me of the traditional sock monkey thing. Brown, cream, red, and gray. Oh, well, that's cool.
Oh, that's fun.
Throat's getting a little dry.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Oh, there I was. Okay. And Meg says, I also have tools for knitting and crocheting. My sister and mom were showing me how to do it when I got frustrated and put it aside for a bit. By a bit, I mean maybe going on 8 months.
I thought you were going to say 8 years or something like that. Like, that sounds about right, too.
And Kat said that she liked your short hair, too, Sarah.
Thank you, Kat.
Sarah said, or Jessie, got Sarah on my mind there. Jesse says, I have 17 books to add to my TBR for next year, which were in the box authors I have
not heard of.
Box authors I have not heard of. Cool.
That's a fun challenge too. Read an author you haven't heard of before.
Yeah, I'm thinking about, should I do like Tiffany and be like, in 24 series I want to start? It'll happen anyway because I'm pretty sure I started quite a few series this year.
I'm at the point where I'm just like, I don't know what's happening next year. I just don't want to put any pressure on myself. You know what I mean? And even beyond that, I just
your challenge is to read all your categories you have.
You're damn right. They're easy to read in the hospital.
I mean, that's the only challenge you need because you've got plenty.
Yeah, I do.
Kind of like me with my retros and stuff, I mean, I made that one video on I want to read my own books, and these are the ones that I picked out. But I'm like, they're interchangeable. up. These are just the ones that I picked out because they were on top of my tubs. I went through my tubs. I opened it up. Oh, that's a pretty cover. That's a pretty cover.
Yep. I was talking to Garrett in the car yesterday, and I was telling him about the live show, and I was how I was saying in the live show about my reading streak, and that I've had a reading streak now since January 16th, 2020. I have read every single day, and I said, "Oh my God!" I said, "When I have surgery, my reading streak is going to be broken." And he just looked at me and goes, "That's your concern?" Yes, that is my concern.
Those weird things that you think about.
I'll be in surgery. I'll be like, "Can y'all just put on an audio book while we're in?"
Maybe I can get some of that in osmosis.
From osmosis, yeah.
and everyone should go watch the Care Bears Nutcracker. Okay, I didn't even know the Care Bears had a Nutcracker.
I don't know which is creepier now, Care Bears or Nutcrackers.
I don't know. I remember I used to have Cheer Bear whenever I was little.
So did I, the one with the rainbow, right?
Yeah.
And my brother had Grumpy Bear, which suited him very much so.
And Beth says, I used to collect nutcrackers, and I only have about 5 left because my children broke most of them.
Damn kids.
That is one thing. They are probably easily broken. They play with them, and then
crack. The jaw falls off. That's probably why I find them so creepy. It's the mouth thing.
Yeah. And he said, okay, so now I have till March to read the first Bosch book. I'll join you at the reading Bosch number 2.
Excellent plan.
Yeah. And I liked the Black Echo. I thought it was pretty good. That was my surprising book because I didn't know going in, well, I like this series. It's an older series. I've been kind of hit or miss with some of the older crime novel series. So some of them are definitely a little dated.
It's a polite way of putting it, yeah.
Storm March sounds perfectly for the second Bosch book, as I will be reading the newest Crescent City book in February. I expect it to be 800 plus pages long, so March is perfect for me too. Okay, that's good. Yep.
You enjoy that.
Yeah. And those are the only Sarah J. Maas books that sound kind of interesting to me, but they're like ginormous. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, I probably won't like them because they're probably, got a lot of that fantasy stuff going on and they're ginormous. But they're the only ones that sound good. But I think you have to have read the other series of hers because I think they're intermingled or something.
Oh,
and
okay,
you know what? I'm just not.
Yep, exactly.
I'm like, I'm not doing it.
I'm just calling it a no.
Yep. Like, nope. Kat said, thanks for the sprint, ladies. I hope everyone has a terrific rest of your week. Merry Christmas and Merry Christmas. Barb says, I'm looking at a house to buy. I decided not to. She had a bunch of bookcases all over the house stuffed with creepy dolls and nutcrackers.
It's bad juju in that house.
It's like that Geico commercial or whatever it is where they go up into the creepy attic or whatever, and there's and that guy's like, nope, yep, I'm done. I'm going to go down. And Meg says, I am also hoping to read the newest Crescent City book in February. Hope to start it when it arrives at my doorstep if I can wait that long. Yeah, that one's definitely a popular one that I have seen on everybody's anticipated list. And Amy says, thank you for the sprints, ladies. Good night. Hi, Amy. And good night to those who are leaving. And Beth says, I can't knit to save my life, but I have about 4 or 5 crochet projects going right now.
Whereas I'm the opposite.
Yeah. And I think I can do enough of both of them to just not do much of anything because I won't stick with it. Like,
to make it look good.
I got 2 lines. Yay!
I love that you called it lines. I got 2 lines.
Yep, I got 2 lines. With crocheting, it's that stupid chain because I
can't do that.
Yeah. I'm going to have to try what the ladies at church told me because they said I need to get a bigger needle, do my chain, and then go back to the needle I wanted to use, and then it should.
That's what I've heard as well.
And so I need to try that and see if it works. Because I try to make a pot holder and it looks like this.
They have those. I don't know if you've seen them. I don't remember what they're called, but they're these little crochet. You can buy it in a pack, and it's to make a little bear or a little whatever. But you get all the yarn and whatever.
Yeah.
But the chain itself is actually started for you.
Oh,
I'm like,
well,
see, I just need someone to start it for me.
Just like go up to some of the ladies at church and be like, "Can you make me a chain about like this one, please?"
Garrett does that for his socks. He'll be like, I want to cast on socks, and he'll look at me and go, make it go. And I have to cast them on for him, and then he's fine once they're on.
Yeah, I watch you with that. You've got the 3 needle thing going, and I'm just like, I can't even do 2, let alone 3.
I one of the girls at work, you use them all at the same time. I'm like, no.
I think you need to do a video showing how you do them, because I don't understand it.
I had a lady one time. I was at the hospital. I was in the waiting room waiting to go see my doctor, and I was knitting away on those 3 needles on the double points. And she says, that is witchcraft. I'm like, no, it's easy.
And Cajun says, I'm leaving tomorrow to go visit my stepmother. So in case I'm not online, I hope everyone has a fantastic holiday.
Have a great time, Cajun.
Have a Merry Christmas to you, Cajun, and have a good time. She's going to Alabama.
Alabama.
And happy holidays, Meg said, Sarah, just read on your way to the hospital, then you won't lose your reading streak.
Unfortunately, that's not going to be the case, because after I have surgery, I'll probably be literally out of it for about 2 or 3 days.
No, you need to tell Garrett he needs to sit by your bedside and hold
and I will find
close to your ear so that
and he'll read to me, and I'll get him to find the smuttiest book just to keep the nurses in the ICU interested.
They'll be coming through there going, what is he reading?
I can just see him too, turning 6 shades of red with his hat pulled down low.
Yeah, it's like, I can't believe you're making me read this.
Yeah, right? If I stop, she won't know. Nobody will tell her. Oh, damn it.
You'll probably be, oh, good, she's asleep.
Yeah.
And I'm still here. Yes, you need to read the Akatar series before reading it. See, that's what I thought. And I'm like not that into that. So I'm taking it. Nope. Reading her Akatar series would be a good idea before, I just never really been interested in those, but I just like the premise of like whenever people talk about the Crescent City ones.
I like the covers. I think the books are gorgeous.
Yes, and the covers are
all I like.
And see, and Barb, I think, has book 1, and I think she's just going to be stuck with reading that on her own. Because, and she's not read the other ones, so I'll probably tell her, you have to read, like, I don't know how many are there, like 6 or 5 or 6 of the other books. No thanks. PK says, I've also seen there's a way to start a crochet project without a chain.
I will have to look that up.
And Amy said to Meg, I plan to read Crescent City 3 the minute it releases. I'm getting it on my Kindle. I need to read it immediately after release. And it's funny, but have all of you who were like so hyped about the Fourth Wing, have y'all read Iron Flame? I'd like to know, did y'all like it? Because I've seen a lot of people very disappointed. So that's what happens when you have a hype book like that.
It was pushed out real quick after the first one. Like, I think she probably wrote them at the same time, and they, oh, this one did so well, let's bring out book 2.
Yeah, that's why I was like, whenever you have something that is so hyped like that, it always, how do you live up to that hype with the next book? Yeah. And the PK says you do a single crochet for the first line. Oh, that's how you do it. You do a single crochet for the first line instead of the chain.
Oh, okay. Interesting. I'll have to look up what a single crochet is.
In theory, I know what it is, but I feel like I'd still be making a chain.
Exactly.
And Jesse says, everyone have yourself a Merry Christmas. And you too,
Jesse.
And you are doing like Christmas Eve sprints, right?
Waiting for Santa sprints, yes. From noon till maybe about 4-ish. I don't know. I haven't decided yet.
I probably won't be able to make it.
Won't. That's okay.
Because I have church, and then I have Christmas Eve, Christmas with my aunt. So like at 2.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
I get it.
it's a bummer. I'll be watching from my aunt's house. I'm bored.
Yeah, exactly.
Get my little ear thing in, and I'm gonna participate that way. And he said, "Merry Christmas, everyone." If we don't have sprints before then, yeah.
Mhm.
And I also think, I mean, don't hold me to it, but I think Lee's gonna do sprints on Christmas Day because
We chatted about that briefly. Yes, because I said that I would join her for
I
that.
think she had I think she was doing stuff on Christmas Eve too. Because after soon we're having ours on Christmas Eve. I don't have anything to do on Christmas. So.
Yeah, I asked her if she wanted, because she asked me in the Discord, and I said yes. I was more because we're not really doing anything for Christmas Day either. We're seeing my brother on Boxing Day on the 26th, and she's like, "Oh, do you want to join?" I said, "Yeah." I said, "Did you want to join Christmas Eve?" And she's like, "Yeah, but I might have to leave at like 2:30." And I'm like, "That's fine. You know, people can jump in and out, which is the great thing, right?" So
yeah. And Beth says there's a stitch called the foundation chain stitch that eliminates the length of chaining at the beginning.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
PK says, and then he'll get hooked on the book. Sarah have to finish it, but he won't admit it. And A says to Meg, I read the ACOTAR last month, but plan to read more of it in January. And Beth says the Wobblies are the tips that for crochet beginners, but using a larger hook for the chains, it also makes a great workaround.
Mm-hmm.
And Meg says, I can crochet a chain. When my mom tried to show me how to do a double and triple, that's when I got frustrated. Yeah.
Yep.
I did doubles okay. Double crochet was kind of like the go. I liked the thickness of it and the fluffiness of the feel of it. And that's what I was making my blanket out of.
Mm-hmm.
I just quit. I still have all the yarn. I have like a couple of bags of yarn that's still over there. So one of these days I'll pull it out.
Right.
And then I'll have to watch YouTube videos all over again because he says, yes, I read Iron Flames. I really enjoyed it, but Fourth Wing was slightly better. But I love them both.
Okay, that's good.
Cajun says, the nun that taught me to crochet had me sit in front of her because I'm left-handed, and that worked. I needed someone to do the same with knitting because I just can't. I tried several times,
Yeah, my aunt's left-handed, and she knits backwards to what I knit because she was taught the same way.
And Meg says, I just may have to download it on my Kindle. I might save an Audible credit and use it for that. You need to read the last ACOTAR book, so I might read that soon. But if you have to have all that read, girls, you should have had that read a long time ago if you're already on book 3 of this other series.
Storm, you really can't talk about that, about being next in series. When you can't get on to book 2 and stuff. Do as I say, not as I do.
And Meg says I'm working Christmas, sadly, but at least it's mid-shift.
Well, thank you for your sacrifice for working Christmas.
Who is doing Christmas Day sprints? That would be Lee.
Dark Roots Creations.
Dark Roots Creation, yes. Yay, power come back on, and just in time for the end.
I'm glad you got your power back.
Yeah, I'm glad your power's back on, though, because that's just the worst. It's so boring when there's no power. That's like the one thing that I'm like, how did people back then when they had no electricity and things? Because I just like that's so.
As long as I can charge my Kindle. That's why they had a lot of kids, Storm.
Yeah.
Wasn't much to do.
And he says, I read all the ACOTARs. This is a reread for me before. Okay.
Oh, gotcha. All right, fair.
And Barb says, why do you use 4 needles and not 5 or magic loop?
I can use magic loop. I really like magic loop to do socks, but I wanted something that I had to think about because I was getting sick of just knitting around and around and around. So at least with the needles, like the 3 or 4 needles, you've got to think about it. The reason I don't use 5 is because there's only so many stitches on the needles. There's only 56 stitches. If I try and split that amongst 4 needles, I've only got like 10 stitches per needle, and it's just too fiddly at that point.
I have no clue what y'all talk about.
Blah, 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 blah. Just smile and nod, Storm.
PK says half double crochet is my go-to. Go so fast and looks good.
See, that to me sounds like a dance step.
Megan says, "Oh, okay, that's awesome. I may try to reread the second to the last book before diving into the okay." So that's it. Y'all are just trying to refresh your memories. I got it. PK says you can find on YouTube how to knit and crochet left-handed. So helpful for many people who need it.
Yep.
And hey, backwards is your frontwards for us.
Yes.
And so a bit of a spoiler, Storm. There is not much mentioned of Akatar in the second book. Just hints that something towards the end, but trying not to. And Storm, they also went to sleep at sundown.
This is true.
That is true. Cajun says, I tried those and I still can't do it. PK. And it says, everything shuts down here when there's no powers, lights, heat, water, and stove, everything. It was the most interesting couple of hours, but now I can read again.
Excellent.
Yeah, I think it's because I like noise, because even if I'm not paying attention to the TV, I have it on, so when there's no
background, yes,
it's just so quiet, and I'm like, I can't do it. Don't go stir crazy. I can't do it. And Cajun says, one reason I have the second Kindle is so that I can read when the power goes out, and my main one doesn't have a full battery. There you go. Back idea. Up. Yeah, I think Sarah's like pretty set.
I think like I'm okay.
Of them, so.
I texted my husband saying, I'm like, oh, I brought the wrong e-reader. And he's like, you'll still find something on the one you have.
Like, but it's not the one I was reading.
That's right. Now I'm disappointed. I was looking forward to it.
And says, that makes sense, Cajun. What a great idea. Yeah. And exactly, Storm, it was too quiet. Yeah. Okay, we got to the end of the comments. Almost. I also have battery-powered candles in case the light goes out. Well, there you go, battery-powered candles.
Yeah, no, that's smart. Very smart.
And we need to get some extra batteries for our CD players. At least we have some music, yeah. And how many devices do you have, Sarah?
If you count the Kindle Fire. Oh, and my tablet.
I'm Sarah, and I have a Kindle problem. E-reader
I have 3 Kindles, 4 Kobos, a Kindle Fire, and a Samsung tablet. And I'm still debating on the Scribe from Kindle. It's in my cart on Amazon. If it ever goes on sale and I happen to have the money at the same time, it will
Okay, so we have sprints on Sunday, and that's the only sprint. Well, we have PK sprints Tuesday.
Yeah, PK's doing her sprints this week, I think.
Does she do? I think PK. You might put that down there. I always forget when she's doing sprints. I'm like, oh, there's a sprint, and it's always like last sprint or something.
I know, right?
I missed it
every time.
And PK has this Scribe, Sarah, and she really likes it. And Sarah, wow, I have 3, and I think that's a lot.
Yeah, I like reading tech.
So we got PK sprint during the week, and then we have your sprint on Christmas Eve if you have nothing to do. And then Monday with Lee.
Correct. Cool. Oh, there she posted it.
Yep, there we go. I have sprints Tuesday and Thursday evenings at 8:05 and Saturday at 3 p.m. Okay.
Yes, thank you. Perfect.
Okay, so everybody, for those that I might not see when it's Christmas, Merry Christmas, because
Merry Christmas.
and everything. So have a good day. Thanks, Sarah, for hanging out with me. So
Thank
by
you.
myself.
No worries.
Bye, ladies.
Take care, everybody. Bye.